As 2024 comes to a close, the world teeters on the edge of chaos. From the bloodied battlegrounds of Eastern Europe to the raging fires of the Middle East, from the political unrest in the US to the brutal power struggles in Yemen. This year has ignited a powder keg of geopolitical tensions. But is this the calm before an even darker storm? As fear grips people across the globe, the question looms. Will 2025 mark the dawn of World War III, tearing apart our already fractured world? The ticking time bomb of global conflict is real and it's counting down. Here's why the world stands on the edge of catastrophe. The Russia-Ukraine War. No end in sight. The war between Russia and Ukraine, now in its third year, has shown no signs of slowing down. Russia's President Vladimir Putin, in a recent annual press conference, emphasized that Russia's objective in Ukraine were still far from complete, signaling no rush to end the conflict. While the front lines have shifted and military strategies have evolved, the human toll continues to mount, with both sides entrenched in a battle for territorial control. As per the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights (OHCHR), verified a total of 39,081 civilian casualties during Russia's invasion of Ukraine from February 24, 2022 till October 31, 2024. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, remains resolute, diminishing any peace talk offer from Putin, calling them mere fantasies. With Western support unwavering and Russian defiance strong, this war seems set to continue into 2025 without a clear resolution in sight. The Middle East, a region in flames. While Ukraine struggles, the Middle East remains in a cauldron of conflict. Israel, having secured some military victories against Hamas in Gaza, faces growing tension in Lebanon with Hezbollah. The recent death of Hezbollah's leader has further fanned the flames of war, making it clear that the situation remains volatile. In the last year alone, at least 44,554 people reportedly killed from violence involving the IDF soldiers as per the reports of ACLED. But there's an odd paradox here. While Israel's dominance grows, a fragile peace might emerge, perhaps an uneasy truce, but peace nonetheless. On the other hand, Iran's regional influence is at a breaking point. The collapse of Bashar al-Assad regime in Syria has left Iran's once strong alliance in tatters, signaling a shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Iranian-backed proxy groups like Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen have suffered setbacks, and their ability to project power has diminished. Iran's role as the axis of resistance seems to be crumbling as the region's power dynamic changes. But the most concerning development comes from Yemen, where the Houthis have intensified their attacks, striking Israeli territories with drones and missiles. These cross-border assaults are a dangerous escalation that threatens not only regional stability but also global shipping routes in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Israel's retaliatory airstrikes have only added fuel to the fire. The US under Trump, a political earthquake. 2024 has also seen a seismic political shift in the United States with the elections of Donald Trump as the next president. His victory has sent shockwaves through global markets, with stocks indices plummeting in the wake of his win. Trump's return to power promises a shift in US foreign policy, and his unpredictable nature raises serious concern about America's approach to international relations. While Trump's economic policies might appeal to his base, the question remains, will his administration escalate tensions with adversaries like China and Russia, or we will see a more isolate approach? Regardless, his victory marks a pivotal moment in global politics, one that will have ripple effect far beyond the US. The world's escalating tensions. Is World War III on the horizon? With wars raging in Ukraine, the Middle East, and the growing instability in the other parts of the world, the question on everyone's mind is, are we heading towards World War III? While the global situation is indeed precarious, the likelihood of an all-out world war remains low. Despite regional conflicts, global powers are still largely engaged in diplomatic efforts to contain the escalation. However, with each passing day, the risk of these regional conflicts spilling over into a global war grows. The US and Russia, both nuclear armed giants, continued their proxy battle in Ukraine. The US is deeply involved in the Middle East, with military assets spread across the region. And while China remains relatively subdued for now, its growing presence in Asia adds another layer of complexities to the geopolitical landscape. The world stands on a knife edge, and whether we plunge into chaos or find a way to de escalate will depend on the choices of the world leaders in the coming months. As 2024 ends and we look towards the new year, one thing is certain: the political landscape is shifting and the world's balance of power is in flux. Will diplomacy prevail, or will we see further escalation? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure: we must all remain vigilant as the year turns, for the choices made today will shape the future of tomorrow. To all our viewers, thank you for joining us through this tumultuous year. May the new year bring peace, stability, and hope for a better tomorrow. Wishing you all a very happy new year.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.